So I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I actually did go to the city earlier. I met my girlfriend in the city because like I said before, my Halloween plans kind of went to shit with my other friend, and I'm honestly still pretty salty about it, to be honest, because we usually go out for Halloween every year. I don't know, just you could have told me you weren't feeling well like a couple days before that. Like usually people can tell if they're feeling like pretty bad, especially if they get the flu or COVID and all of that. So, yeah. So I ended up meeting her in the city, and we went to this we wanted to go to Beetle House, which if you guys have been to NYC before, you probably have heard of Beetle House. It's pretty well known Halloween bar because it's like a Tim Burton Beetlejuice themed bar. But we didn't end up going there. We ended up going to the place literally right next to it, and we thought that it was the entrance for Beetle House as well. I was like, no, let's go here. I was like, I think for Beetle House, you have to go in that door. But we also thought that it was just like connected to it. We just thought it was like maybe like the quieter area of the bar. But they're like, no, we're completely separate from Beetle House. It was actually called Creepy Crust. So it was actually like, we didn't even know it was why they had all, like basically they had cheese in every single food item on the menu. And we're like, oh, this is a pizza place. But they had cocktails and everything. Like it was a full like Halloween bar still. But it was just like so perfect because like Sarah's immune system's like really weak, and she didn't want to worry about like getting sick and then like bringing it home to her mother because she has to go see her mother tomorrow because she has to go vote in the election and all of that. So she's actually going to be going to Pennsylvania tomorrow. But anyway, I was actually surprised that she ended up meeting me in the city still but she did take 3 days off from work so she could go see her mom. So she like had like more like almost a 5-day weekend, but she said that she did work yesterday. But it was really nice of her to still meet me in the city. I also bought some books. I bought quite a few books in the city. They were just really good deals at the Strand. And every time I feel like every time I really am not crazy about a book, I'm going to declutter it. And I think I'm just going to be taking them to the library instead of selling them. So it is what it is. So anyway, we had a really good time. And then we ended up going to the Strand and Barnes and Noble. But what's really funny is that when we went to this bar, it was still like the theme and the ambiance and everything was vibing. It was awesome. And the drinks were so good. And what I've heard from people is that the ones at Beetle House are kind of not worth it. And I think they're like double the price. I think they're like $25. And I was like, wait. I was like, these are really actually standard city prices. They were like $12 to $15. And I was like, I'm gonna get two. And they were both so good. I really liked them. They were totally worth the $15 each. So anyway, but what's funny is that, the reason why we ate there, also, I'm like, the door is open. There's ventilation for Sarah, and she can get that from because like literally we were sitting like further into the bar. Like obviously we weren't right near the door because then we would have been cold. We sat like further in, like past the bar, and you didn't really feel cold at all in there because it was like warm enough. And I was like, look, the door is open, so it's like you're eating outside. It was great. So it was good for her too. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. I don't know why I'm rambling. It's actually really late right now, but it is daylight savings time, but my body thinks it's 2:30, but it's really 1:30 right now. So that's how we're gonna justify it. So I'll gain an hour of sleep if I even end up sleeping at this point, because we don't even know if we're gonna sleep. So, but I did spend the entire day out of bed in the city. So I went in with the Merry Christmas Eve palette by Odin's Eye because I kind of wanted to use some of the grays from this. I literally just used these 3 shades, and then I used my Ensley Rain palette, so I combined the two. I've never combined these two before. So I went into Ice Crystal in the crease, and then I went into a couple of shades from the Ensley Rain palette, the Cold Moon one. And what did I actually use from this? I used Rebirth to darken up the crease, and then I used Mother's Night on the outer corners, and then I just went in with Mauja because I wanted to use it as my brow bone highlight. I'm like, this palette's already in front of me, why not? I originally was going to use this palette completely, but I was like, I kind of wanted to use Odin's Eye, and my eyes ended up tearing, but at least it wasn't till after dinner. Like, my eyeshadow lasted pretty well during dinner. My eyes started tearing like after dinner, and what's so funny is that when we were at that bar, it's not like it was that bright in there, so it honestly wouldn't have mattered if it didn't last as long. It actually wasn't lasting as well when we stopped by at the last place we went to, which wasn't even worth it. We went to Max Brenner because I was like, I'm kind of craving like some kind of hot chocolate. Even though I actually wasn't that cold for once in my life, but also I had some alcohol and she didn't. But I wore like a heavier jacket, and I wore leggings rather than wearing tights. So, and I actually wore my thigh-high boots, which I have not worn in so long. So with the leggings and the thigh-high boots, my legs were actually pretty warm. And then I wore a dress and a black sweater underneath, like my black cardigan. And then I wore like this velvet puffer jacket that I have. And I'm like, this is perfect because it's still cute and it still goes with what I'm wearing. And it kept me warm the whole night. So usually I'm freezing, but I was okay. So I actually wasn't really cold that much until I got home. So... because it's always cold in my area because we live on a freaking hill. So anyway, I went into Snowflake all over the lid because I really wanted to use this one. It's such a stunning silver. And then for the inner corners, I used Silvery Dream. I know, why am I using a Christmas palette right now when it's November? But all the freaking Christmas stuff is out already. I just wanted to use the palette. It doesn't matter, like, what time I use a palette. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to use it during Christmas. But I think I'm going to be using this one along with the Christmas Day palette quite a lot this Christmas. So why can't I put this back? Okay, there we go. I do keep the sleeves for all of my palettes, by the way. They just keep them cleaner. I keep the sleeves for these ones too, and it just keeps the inner packaging so much cleaner. So good tip, if you don't want the outsides of your palettes to get dirty, just keep the sleeves. I found that it's way easier than cleaning the outside all the time. And then I went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Black. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer. And then I went into the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara on the top lashes. And the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into the Lancome Taint Idol Foundation in the shade 120N. I don't know why I'm so loud right now. It's like not even necessary. It's like pretty late. And then for my concealer, I went into the Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 10NN. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs Powder. And then I set my face with the... with the Urban Decay Pressed Powder again. And then for my bronzer, my god, my nose has been running like all fucking day. Sorry, not sorry. I went into the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. And then for my blush, I went into the NARS blush in the shade Lovejoy. And I wore my Alice in Wonderland dress. I'm like, I didn't really want to get dressed. I didn't really want to wear a costume. I'm like, I'm not wearing a costume, but I was like, I want to wear a dress. So, and it was perfect. And then I went into the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Extra because I really wanted to use it. And it's a really beautiful highlighter despite that I don't support her anymore. Her products actually used to be really, really good before like her brand like went down the freaking toilet. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel, and then for my lips, I went into the MAC Soar lipstick and the Colored Rain, I almost said Color Pop for some reason, Colored Rain lipstick in the shade Marshmallow. And what's so funny is that when we went to Max Brenner, I got a Marshmallow hot chocolate, and I just realized that I was wearing this lippy called Marshmallow. What are the odds of that? But the hot chocolate was not even good, but it's fine. I still drank the whole thing. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as reading update goes, I'm still reading Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. I just wanted to show you guys the actual cover because I keep on talking about it, that I'm reading it on my Kindle. I'm also listening to the audiobook as well. So I've been listening to probably 50-50. Like, I think I've read over 100 pages of this and probably listened to probably like 150-ish pages. So anyway, I'm on page 372. So I should finish this by tomorrow because it says I only have like 3 hours left. So, and I don't want to spend any more time on reading it. And I'm definitely going to read more tonight. Like, hopefully I might get up to page 400. So then I'm only going to have 100 pages to read tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on how sleepy I get, because literally last night I tried to do that and I read 10 pages and I actually ended up listening to 10 more pages of the audiobook because reading was making me so sleepy that like I had to listen to the audiobook instead. And that's why that's so cool. That's why my phone isn't on Do Not Disturb yet, because I'm like, it's switched to 1:30. So, I mean, it switched to an hour earlier. I'm like, why isn't it on? And then I'm like, oh, because it's 1 a.m. now, not 2 a.m. So, interesting, brain. And now I think I'm enjoying it more so than I did before, but I really do not think this one is as good as Throne of the Fallen. I'm still enjoying it. I still really love Carrie Maniscalco's writing. Like, I'll read all of her books. I really do want to read her other series. So after I finish this book, I will have read all 5 books in like the Prince of Sins universe pretty much. I read the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy earlier this year, and then I will have read Throne of the Fallen and Throne of Secrets. So I still have read 5 books from her this year, and that is continuing a series because obviously I was waiting for this book to come out. But just Throne of the Fallen was one of my all-time favorite romantic reads. And also, like I said, one of my favorite books of the entire year. I will not shut up about it. I love that book so much. I feel like this one took way too long to get to this point, but I do think pretty much the last 100 pages are going to be really good. But also, I felt like there wasn't, even though it's called Throne of Secrets, I don't feel like there's as much of a mystery element to Gluttony and his House of Gluttony in this, as compared to House Envy in Throne of the Fallen. I really feel like we discovered so much about House Envy in Throne of the Fallen. And I was trying to re-listen to Throne of the Fallen before I started Throne of Secrets, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because they're mostly interconnected standalones. Like, you really don't have to read these in order because they're all separate stories of basically the Prince of Sin's love stories, like them finding an actual person to love because they think that they can't fall in love since they're princes of hell pretty much. So it's like basically their love stories, and like I'm still really enjoying it, but honestly Phantasma was better. I just thought that combined it was also set in hell as well. That's why I'm comparing it to Phantasma. It's just everything in Phantasma just hit right. But also, I'm not really obsessed with Gluttony and Adriana. I think her name's Adriana or Adriana. Why did I just say it the same way? I said or Adriana. Adriana or Adriana. I think her name's Adriana. I'm not really obsessed with them as much as I was with Envy and Camilla, or even Amelia and Wrath in Kingdom of the Wicked. I love them so much as characters that, like, I don't know. It was just a little bit odd that she decided to go with Gluttony. And people were, like, pretty surprised that Gluttony was the second sin. Like, everybody thought she was going to go with Pride or Greed, most likely, because Pride played, like I said, Pride played a huge role in Envy's book. So, and also, like, this thing has stuck with me since Booked and Busy said this about Powerless and Reckless, is the fact that this book is 140 pages shorter than Throne of the Fallen. This book is exactly 500 pages. I think Throne of the Fallen is like 645 pages or something like that. So it's like 145 pages less. Booked and Busy says sometimes she thinks that it's a bad sign that if the second book in a series or like a trilogy is shorter. And I have to agree with that. This is still better than Reckless, though, because Reckless was like a huge letdown for me. This is good, but I'm not obsessed with this like I was Throne of the Fallen. I literally think about Throne of the Fallen probably every single day, and I've been comparing every single romantic. And Serpents of the Wings of Night and Ashes of the Star-Cursed King were so good that I think that Songbird and the Heart of Stone is going to deliver. So, I don't know. Like I said, this was like my most anticipated read besides Reckless. And I don't know, I'm a little bit underwhelmed again. And I'm upset about it because, like, I really wanted to love this book. Like, I like it, but I'm not obsessed with this book like I was Throne of the Fallen. But I think we're going to have to see how the ending is. The ending's probably going to serve, so we'll see what I think when I finish it tomorrow. Why am I talking forever? Goodbye. Okay, so hey there guys. I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I did go, can I speak? I did work today. This light is too bright again. Let's not do that. I did work today for like 4 hours. And what's so funny is that I wore an eyeshadow palette that I haven't worn in maybe years. Maybe like at least 2 years. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear this eyeshadow palette today to see if I still like it. And I got 2 compliments on it today. And I haven't gotten a compliment on my makeup in like quite a while. And it's not like I need that, but like I don't need somebody to compliment anything on me every day. Like I'm not like that. I'm like, oh my God, nobody said anything. Like, but like sometimes like when you want somebody to say something, they like don't. But like it's always like those days where it's like it's so unexpected, and it's like, of course it's about an eyeshadow palette or on an eyeshadow palette that I haven't worn in a couple of years, and that's when somebody finally compliments my eyeshadow. It's just so funny. Like, oh my God, your eyeshadow matches your sweater so beautifully, and I love your eyeshadow, it's so pretty. I was like, thanks. I was just like so surprised that it was like this palette, but also I think that's why I love warm tones so much, because honestly, I really do think warm tones do look the best on me, and I do think that they bring out like my pale ass complexion, but also because it just warms up my face so much, and also like brings out my hair color too, that I think that's why when I do wear warm tones, that's when I always get the most compliments, because like I feel like they just look the best on me. So anyway, I just thought it was really sweet. My hands are as dry as the Sahara Desert right now. Hold on one second. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. I'll just tell you guys what I used for my face makeup before I go into my eyeshadow, since I'm still moisturizing my hands. So I just primed my face with the Rare Beauty spray. I need to go get the Tower 28 one. I didn't even do that today at work because we were actually really busy today, so I didn't get a chance to go. I need like a day where I'm like running errands. I might do that on Tuesday because like I was thinking about going to my best friend's house during like election night, but also my mom said that we were invited to like an election party from like one of her Apple coworkers, and he's going to be throwing like a little thing. So I might just go to that, and I'll have like Tuesday to like run errands and read and just like relax before my trip. Unless Thursday is going to be that, but honestly, like I'd rather not go out Thursday, and I'd rather just run errands on Tuesday, so we'll see. So let me just tell you guys what I use for my eyeshadow, and then I just prime with the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, of course. For my eyeshadow palette, I used the Pinky Rose Cosmetics Center Stage palette. I saw it in the bag because I was thinking about selling this palette for like the longest time, and I've literally had like this full bag of eyeshadow palettes and like other makeup items, but that I've been wanting to sell for a while, and I just still have not listed them on my Poshmark. It just takes so much time. And it's just like time that I don't even care about really taking to do it. I think I might just like start giving away some of the stuff to like friends or people that, you know, I might just donate it, honestly. I'd rather just do that. I don't really know at this point, but also like it's such a waste of money, but at the same time it's like it's also going to someone that could use it a lot more than me, so that's not like a waste if it's going to someone that's actually going to use it. So anyway, I wore this palette today, and I got so many compliments on it, and it was so sweet. I'm like, I'm going to wear this to see if I still like it, and I actually still really like this palette, so I think I'm going to be keeping this one. Because honestly, this is like, I used to call this my Thanksgiving palette, because I literally feel like this is Thanksgiving in a palette, and don't tell me it's not. Like, these tones are so perfect for this time of year, and it's such a like such a perfect like autumnal kind of palette. So I went into Weekend in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Havana, and then I used Cocoa on the outer corners, and then I used Floodlight all over the lid, and then I used Glam on the inner corners, and it looked so pretty. So it was great. I felt really good today. I was like, thanks. And then I just went into Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone, of course, and then I just went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Brown. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then the Amico Lay Mascara on the top lashes, and the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then for my foundation, I went into the Makeup by Mario foundation in the shade 1C, and the coinciding concealer in the shade, what the heck is this shade again? 120. Love both of these products still. I use them as much as I can. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay powder again. And then for my bronzer, I just went into the House Labs bronzer in the shade, can I even speak? The House Labs bronzer in the shade Light Level 1. And then for my blush palette, well, for my blush and highlight, I went into this really old Smashbox palette. This is the Ablaze Face palette, and honestly, this palette is not that good, but honestly, I could have used the bronzer in here. I just didn't even think about it. But I did combine the two blushes and the two highlighters. This is also a palette that I was thinking about selling. I like it, but I'm not like obsessed with this, and like, but I just wanted to use it today because I thought it went so well with the colors in the eyeshadow palette. So the two blushes are Claim to Fame and Fire Sign, and then the highlighters are Filtered and Sun Sign. So I just combined the two blushes and the two highlighters, and they looked pretty, but honestly, I have other Smashbox ones that I like a lot more than the ones that are in here. And also, again, I have so much goddamn makeup. I don't need all of this shit. Like, I really, really, really don't. But also, I'm like, I'm getting way too many books at this point. Like, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. Like, every time I say I'm not going to buy that many books, I bought 7 books in the city yesterday. 7. Why? When I said I was only going to buy Sky Shade this month, we all knew that was not true. And I'm literally going book shopping tomorrow with one of my friends that is literally like the only person that's into books besides me. I mean, my other friend is too, but I don't go book shopping with her like I go with my other friends. So, and anyway, then I set my face with the Milk Makeup. Can I speak? The Milk Makeup setting spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I went into a really old lippy, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills matte lipstick in the shade Peachy. I think this is pretty dried out, but also like when I used it, it didn't feel dry on my lips like once I put it on. It's just when I was putting it on, it felt like really tuggy and dry, but once it was on my lips, it felt so comfortable. So I don't know. So that's everything as far as the makeup goes. Oh my god. As far as the reading update goes, I'm still reading Throne of Secrets. I'm about to finish it though. I only have like 15 pages left. I actually was listening to the audiobook for the past 20 minutes or so just so I could get further into it. I did read probably like 50 or so pages of it, but I mostly like today, but I mostly listened to the audiobook because I knew I wasn't going to have as much time to read today, but I knew I was going to finish this book today because I only had like 120 something pages left. So I listened to half of it, almost half of it, and then probably read like maybe 50 or 60 pages of it. I'm a little disappointed in this one, but like the ending is good, but at the same time, it's not as good as Throne of the Fallen. Throne of the Fallen is just so, it's one of my favorite books of the year. It's one of my favorite romantic books that I've ever read. I love that book to pieces, and I know I've said this every single night that I talk about when I'm updating you guys about this one, and I still think that this is good, and I still think it's worth a read if you really do love the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy and the Princes of Sin world, and if you loved Throne of the Fallen, but at the same time, like, I feel it's a bit underwhelming following Throne of the Fallen, because again, that book was just so amazing, and like I said, I don't think anything is going to top that book for me. When it comes to a romantasy read this year, that is literally my favorite romantasy, but also, like, I haven't really, like I said, I haven't really read too much romantasy this year. Like, besides Kingdom of the Wicked and Throne of the Fallen, I haven't really read that much romantasy. Like, so I feel like that's why I'm making up for it this month. And I'm going to be reading a lot of big romantasy books this month, like Quicksilver, Metal Slinger, Bloodguard, Six Scorched Roses, and then Songbird and the Heart of Stone, and this book. And what is the last one that I'm reading? There's one more romantasy read that I want to read. I don't remember what it's called. I need my phone because I guess I'm apparently dumb. What the hell is it called? Oh, The Dagger and the Flame. Duh, that's like the only one that I own physically, and that book has been getting some buzz too. So I honestly think I might enjoy them more than Throne of Secrets. And I really do think Songbird and the Heart of Stone is going to deliver. But also, like, this was basically my most anticipated read of the year besides Reckless. And since Reckless was such a letdown, this was good, but it's a bit disappointing because it wasn't as good as Throne of the Fallen. And like I said, this book was like 140 pages shorter than Throne of the Fallen. And like I said, Booked and Busy always says that that's a bad sign when it comes to like a follow-up of a fantasy book. I'm going to go because I literally cannot talk. So like I said, after I finish that book, I'm going to go right into The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie because like I want to find a 5-star read. And I'm really thinking that this is going to be a 5-star read. And again, I cannot speak, so I'm going to go. Goodbye. Okay, so hey there guys. I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. Yes, I'm always wearing this sweatshirt because I freaking love it. I can't believe I go away in 3 days with my friends. I'm super excited. We're going upstate Friday and we're coming back Sunday evening most likely. But we're gonna leave at like 12:30, me and Chris, in the afternoon, and then we're gonna get there at like 5-ish, and we're gonna spend that night there, and then we are going to spend the whole day Saturday there and Saturday night, and then we're going to have breakfast with everybody Sunday morning, and then we're gonna leave Sunday afternoon. So it's just like a two-day getaway pretty much, and I'm just so excited because like I never do anything like away from home really. Like I'm hanging out with my friends a lot. Like so today I went out with Becca, and there's a little bit annoying things about because I wanted to make some returns, and Hot Topic was so easy, but like with Forever 21 it was just a pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm not happy about that one because it was like all the Mean Girls stuff that I had bought for me and my friend to be Mean Girls to go out for Halloween, and then since we ended up not going. I also opened a Forever 21 credit card so I could save another 20% on top of the 15% I was already getting a discount for the clothes that I was buying. It was another 20% off if I opened a card, and I paid off the balance right away, and then I tried to return the stuff today, and I told them, why is it going back on the card? Because I had already paid the balance. So it's like technically I should be getting that money back since Forever 21 already got their money for my balance. Or if they can't put it on a credit card, usually it's like returned with like a store credit, or like why is my nose so squeaky right now? I feel like I'm hearing it like every 5 seconds I'm talking. Very weird. Or cash is usually how it's returned. Because I know I could have sworn that when I return things to like Sephora or Ulta, I usually always just get it back on the card. But like with Sephora, sometimes if I want the money back, they tell me they just can only give me cash. Or it's like some other places can only give you cash when you pay. But most places I just pay with my regular debit card. So it was just pretty annoying. So I had to call customer service, and they told me that you have to call the store that you bought it at. I'm like, okay, I probably should have just called the store that I bought it at originally, but I wanted to see if customer service could help me. And they were like, well, unfortunately, we can't help you. We just need to know if it's an online or in-store purchase. And I told her it was an in-store, and then she didn't do anything further for me. Like, she asked me like the location and everything. And I'm like, then why are you asking me these questions when you should just say to call the store, which I did say, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't need to walk you guys through this whole thing. So I finally called the store, and they said, he told you misinformation. I don't know why he told you that. Yes, it can go back on the card to go towards your line of credit, but I'm like, I don't want it to go towards my line of credit. I have a $1,000 credit limit on it. I'm like, why the hell do I need another $50? Like, I want the money back. Because then that's like, I'm out that money pretty much. I'm like, why am I losing money when I already paid the balance? So they're like, it doesn't really happen that often, like when people just like pay their balance automatically as soon as they open it. But that's like what the associate told me to do. And like also, I probably shouldn't have though. I probably should have just waited to see if like we were still going. Because if we didn't, I could have just returned it, and then it wouldn't have mattered because then I wouldn't have really spent that money. It just would have went right back on the credit card. So I don't know, just annoying. They told me I should just come back to the store that I bought it at. I knew that the Roosevelt Field store, it was just so stupid to return it there. I don't know why I even tried to return it there because they suck. Like most of their stores freaking suck. There's only like a couple stores there that me and my friend go to because my mall doesn't have these stores like Hot Topic. We actually ended up going to Hot Topic, Bath and Body Works, and Forever 21. We didn't, and the food court to eat, and that was it. Like, we didn't really like shop. But now she wants to go back next week just to pick up her order. But I do have to order things on Hot Topic now since I got a gift card. Since I returned the bag that I bought, I'm like, I don't know why I kept this, so I decided to get a gift card. And I also have Hot Cash on top of it. So I would basically get like $55 off of something that I wanted to buy on Hot Topic. So like with Hot Topic, it's different if I get a store credit because I shop at Hot Topic a lot, so I can always put it towards something else that I really want. But like with Forever 21, it's like, what else am I going to buy? You know, like nobody shops there anymore. So they said just come and return it where you bought it but this guy should have told me this anyway. She's like, I don't know why he told you that. And I was like, yeah, he didn't even offer me like a store credit. And she's like, that's weird because like if you wanted to return it that way, you can just do that. If you don't want to return it to your card and wait for our bank to send you a check, because that's how it works. They send you a check from Forever 21 to reimburse you. She's like, yeah, you should have been reimbursed. And I'm like, I know, like, I don't understand why he didn't really understand what I was saying. He's like, no, when you return it on the Forever 21 credit card, they can't do anything else for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I open a card with you guys. That helps you. So, like, what do you mean you don't want to help me? I'm like, you're basically saying you're fucked. Like, you're out that money. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I paid my balance the day that I opened the card. So, it was just really frustrating. I'm like, you're making it sound like I'm losing $55. I'm like, it's not like it's $2. It's $55. I'm like, what? Okay. So it was just really fucking annoying me. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I went into the Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette just because I really wanted to use it today. I was actually thinking about bringing this upstate, but I've already used it twice, but it's literally an upstate palette, but also like I think I'd rather bring, and also I used it just so I could use it before the upstate trip, just to like feel the vibes of it. But also I was probably just going to bring like 2 ColourPop 9 pans with me and that's it. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to wear eyeshadow. But the only time I would put eyeshadow on would be Saturday. Sunday, I might not even put makeup on. I'm not sure. Or I might just do my no makeup look. And then Friday, I might do the same thing, just my no makeup look. But Saturday might be the only day that I do eyeshadow. So anyway, I went into Fall Festival in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Oktoberfest, and then I used Farm to Table on the outer corners. It's just such a fall palette. I love it, and that's literally like the vibes of the book I'm reading right now. Literally, she talks about farm to table ingredients constantly, so I guess that's why I wanted to use this palette, but I forgot that shade was even called that. And then for my lid, I just went into Leaf Peeping, and then for my inner corners, I used Foliage Trail. I don't know why I didn't use this one on my brow bone, but I just went into Blend Buddy Cosmetics Brighter Days on the brow bone. I was about to say brown bone. Yes, my eyebrows are brown, so I could say that. And then for my inner corners, like I said, I used this one. So yeah, just pretty simple look. I was thinking about smudging some green on the lower lash line because of the sweatshirt I was wearing. So I was wearing my bookish sweatshirt again. Because we were going to Barnes & Noble first. I only bought 2 books because I'm like, I really need to stop buying books right now. Like, I need to actually read the books that I'm buying, and I need to stop buying books. Like, I actually was only going to buy 1 book this month, and then it turned into 8. Or actually 9, because I got 5 books at the Strand on Saturday, and also 2 from Barnes & Noble, and then I got 2 from Barnes & Noble today, and then I'm going to be picking up Sky Shade next week. So it'll be 10 books already, but that is it. I'm not buying any more books this month. I cannot. I don't even have space for them anymore at this point. Like, the TBR card is full, but after I, reorganize the drawer of books that I want to keep in the drawer that I've read, because all those books are now read books and unread books, but, well, actually, they're all unread books now. But anyway, I just picked up 2 more Hannah Boehm Young books. I just picked up Next of Kin and Next to You, because I do want to read both of these, so these are all going to be like next year reads though, so I really need to stop picking up more books. Now I have the whole Infernal Devices trilogy. I picked up the Hurricane Wars at the Strand, which I'm very excited for this one as well. It's just like, I don't know, there's something about just holding books in your hands makes it like just so magical. I can't explain the feeling of holding a book, honestly. It's just like when you read, you understand. Like, you just get so excited to buy a new book, but at the same time, like, I wasn't even reading my physical books, like, as much as my Kindle last month. And actually, the first 2 reads that I read this month were both on my Kindle. And I finished Throne of Secrets last night, by the way, and I'll say that my thoughts on that in a minute. So anyway, I went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade brown, and then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then I went into the Amicole mascara on the top lashes, and then the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And I primed my face with their Rare Beauty setting spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I might go to my friend's house tomorrow night, but if I don't, I might just use it as an errands day. And also, I haven't even filmed my wrap-up yet, and it would be great just to film my wrap-up tomorrow as well. So then I can at least get that up before I go upstate this weekend. And also, I've been itching to film it. I wanted to start filming it today, but then I got ready a little late because, to be honest, I was so freaking comfortable on my bed that I didn't want to get up from me reading. But I was like, I have to get up and meet my friend. But I was like, why did I make plans today? But like, honestly, I might not see him tomorrow, and it's not really a huge deal because I just wanted to hunker down with him during the election. But I'm like, we're not even going to know anything until Wednesday. And my brother works the polls anyway, that he's not even going to be home until like 9:30. And I was actually invited to a watch party from my mom's coworker. And she said anybody who's invited can come. So I'm thinking about just swinging by that. But it's not until like 9:30. But I thought it would just be a fun time. So I can run errands during the day and then read after that until like dinner time, and then read after dinner because my brother's not even be home till 9:30 anyway. So I might just read for the rest of the night until we go to the election party. So why am I rambling? And then I went into the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in the shade Light 1. And then I went into the Elias Concealer in the shade LG3. This one right here. And then I went into the Pat McGrath Labs powder underneath my eyes to set my under eyes and my T-zone. And then I set my face with the Urban Decay Pressed Powder. My skin's looking really good lately, by the way. Just to toot my own horn. Thank you so much. And then for my bronzer, I went into the NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium. And then for my blush, I went into the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Bare Cheeks palette in the shade, and I used the shade In Charge, which is like this really beautiful orange. I just wanted to use it today, and I hadn't used those blushes in a hot second, and I wanted to use them this fall. So I think I've used like 5 blushes from here this fall. I'm not using it every day like I used to, but I love that palette so much. And then for my highlighter, I just went into the Glam Light Sugar High Loose Highlighter, this gold one. If I open it, the glitter will go everywhere. But I always forget how beautiful Glam Light's highlighters are. They're so good. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop BFF liner. And then for my lipstick, I went into a bougie Dior one. But I was like, why not? Because it's such a perfect color for what I was wearing. And it's the shade 314 Grand Ball. I don't want to keep it open too long because the fragrance is like super fragrant. But it's not as like potent as the Gucci one or the Gwen Stefani one. But I've gotten so used to the Gucci one and the Dior ones that it's not like a huge deal. So anyway, that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, like I said, I did finish Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. And it was such a letdown. It really was. Like, compared to the first one, what is up with like these sequels in series where like the second book is just a filler? And I honestly felt like this book was a bit fillery for me. And also I just felt like I said, when we got up to the 200-page mark, still had nothing happened really in the competition that Gluttony was holding to find a bride. And we got like no events of the competition. I'm like, okay, what are the actual details of what they are doing to compete for Gluttony? And like she just like completely skipped over them. Like we got like hints of what they were doing, but like it was like 2 pages, but it didn't like explain like what the suitors were doing to like compete against each other. And then it was like always focusing on Adriana like showing up there. Like it kind of reminded me of like Once Upon a Broken Heart meets like Fourth Wing, because I felt like it was trying to be a bit of a fairy tale because it was very similar to a Cinderella retelling. But I feel like with this, it doesn't really work because Throne of the Fallen, it was just like such a amazing balance of like the romance and the fantasy element of Throne of the Fallen made it a fantastic story. But I just didn't really care about Gluttony and Adriana as much as I loved Envy and Camilla. Like, they're one of my top favorite romantic couples of all time. And it just makes me want to still listen to the first one because I was trying to get through it before I read Throne of Secrets, but I think I only got like 20% in. Like, I was just re listening to the audiobook so I could be like up to date for this one, but honestly, like I don't really have to do that. Like I don't have to refresh my memory with that one because that one actually like lives in my brain every day. So I thought I was going to give this book a 4 stars because I was like, oh, I still enjoyed it. But honestly, I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. I'm like, I was actually not even going to round it up on Goodreads to a 4 stars. I was just going to give it a 3 stars and say it was a 3.75. So it was pretty underwhelming compared to the first book. So anyway, like I said, now I'm reading The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden. I started this today. I wanted to start it last night, but I just got way too tired after I finished Stone of Secrets. I mostly was listening to the audiobook, and then I just read like the last 15 pages on my Kindle. But I had read like 30 to 40 pages before that on my Kindle, but I feel like that's the only way I got through that book because I do love the 2 voice actors for the Throne of the Fallen series because they're the same as the Throne of the Fallen for as the same narrators as the first book narrated the second book as well, and I love the Prince of Sin's voice. He's amazing. I love his voice so much. So honestly, I just wanted to keep on listening to the audiobook and not even read the Kindle version. I was like, I could just listen to it for the next couple of days, but I really just wanted to finish it so I can move on to this one. And so far, this is so adorable. I'm on page 109, and so far I'm having a great time with this. I don't know if it's going to be a 5 star. It depends on like where it goes. Like I'm pretty much like almost 40% of the way through because like halfway would be 165. So I'm just going to get halfway through tonight and then I should finish it tomorrow if I read for the rest of the night, you know, until we go to the election party or until I go to my friend's house. I'm not sure yet, but I do need to run a bunch of errands tomorrow that I haven't done in the past like week because I haven't had a date on myself since last week. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Why am I talking forever? Bye. Can I even speak right now? Okay, so I don't know if I've ever felt more anxiety in my entire life because tonight is election night, and I think I just need to turn this off. I need to relax a little bit because I've been watching a live stream since I've gotten home, and my anxiety has been like through the roof. But yeah, um, basically right now Kamala is trailing behind Trump, but um they said there's no way she wins unless she wins Pennsylvania, and that's the only way she can win. So if she takes Pennsylvania and she takes 2 more swing states, then she will win. So she just needs like 3 swing states, like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Nevada, pretty much. So I'm just like really nervous right now. So I actually went to a viewing party tonight, so we could watch the election not at home, which was nice. So we were able to go. I forgot that I even got new makeup at Sephora. I forgot I was going to wear this lipstick tonight, but I forgot. How many times can I say I forgot? I didn't get that much because, honestly, I didn't really want much during the sale. But I did splurge on one thing that I actually have been eyeing for a while. I did get the Giorgio Armani bronzer because... why? I don't know. But, I felt that this was a more valid purchase than spending $70 on the foundation. Because that foundation's like way too expensive. I was thinking about getting it, but I decided to get a Dior foundation instead because I was wanting to get a new foundation and a new concealer. That's pretty much like the only two things I really wanted to get. And I usually do get... how do you even open this? A new foundation and concealer at the sale. So let me just open this. But what's awesome is that, you know, so we went to a viewing party that one of her Apple coworkers was hosting, and most of these people are Democrats. So it's awesome. I mean, actually everybody there is a Democrat. This is like actually super substantial, heavyweight packaging. But again, how do you even open this? Why is this so hard to open? Like, seriously though. I better not break a nail opening this thing. Ouch. So I believe that's the lightest shade. So I got this. Why? It doesn't even have a scent. Why, I don't know. I guess I like luxury bronzers, but I don't know. I just really wanted to try it. I haven't picked up a Giorgio Armani product in a long time. And then I just got a new concealer. I got the Lawless one. I just wanted to try it out because I actually really like Lawless as a company. And I also got YSL's new mascara, or it's been around for a little while. So I just got the stick foundation from Dior, and I got the YSL Lash Mascara Extreme Volume Mascara. Those are the only things that I really splurged on. And then I just got my Tower 28 spray, and like I said, the Lawless concealer and a Kulfi lipstick. I just didn't really want to spend that much money. I don't even know if I'm going to do a haul with this stuff, depending on if I make another trip. But honestly, I only bought 5 makeup items and the Tower 28 spray. Because mostly I went in for this, and then I was like, oh yeah, the sale's going on. Maybe I should get some stuff. But I might declutter quite a few foundations. So anyway, I actually was filming my wrap-up earlier. I didn't get to finish talking about all the books, but I talked about most of them. And what's funny is that I was getting a little bit tired of talking. I'm like, I am going to be talking with her coworkers later. So I'm like, I just wanted to stop filming because I'm like, I've been talking for a while. I think I got through like 12 or 13 of the books that I read. And then as soon as I stopped and I'm like, I don't feel like talking anymore, my mom like literally asked me 2 minutes later, like, are you ready to go? And it was like 9 o'clock. Because the viewing party didn't start until 9:30, but we got there at like 9:15 because like it is late for my mom. So I drove her because I'm like, you know, I just don't want to make you drive because it is late for you. I mean, I did have a drink, but that's why I only had one drink and like a little shot of something. And she was so worried about me driving home. I'm like, Mom, I'm fine. Like, that's why I only had one drink. So shots don't really do anything to me. And then she was like, wow, you took the whole thing. And I'm like, yes, because that's what a shot is. And when Miguel saw that I took the shot, he's like, oh, you just took a shot. I'm like, yeah, I thought that's what you were doing. But also, like, I wasn't just going to sip that shit. I'm like, I'm just going to take it straight. I'm like, I'm not sipping this crap. Like, no, because I wouldn't even sip it. Like, I just either have to take the whole thing and don't take it at all. And I was like, sure, I'll have a shot. Why not? I need something. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Clarins Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. Then for my eyeshadow palette, I decided to go into an oldie but a goodie. I'm like, I haven't used this in so long, and I really forgot how much I really do love this palette still. This is the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette, and I'm like, I just really want to use it. So I did a cool tone look with it. I went in with Culotta in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Get Crackin', and then I used Nutty on the outer corners, and then for the lid I used Da Coco, and then for the brow bone I used Shredded, and then for the inner corners I used Palm Reader. And these are so beautiful. I love this palette. It's just such a good little palette. And then I went in with the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Brown. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer. And then I went into the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the... Originally, I actually didn't prime my face. And then I was like... Because I just went in with concealer. I was like, I didn't really feel like wearing a tinted moisturizer. So I just went into my favorite concealer, which is the Colvie one. But then my face felt so dry after not using a primer because, like, I hadn't worn makeup all day. I didn't start putting makeup on until, like, 7:30 at night. And then we left at 9, so I was filming for quite a while. And I was like, my face feels so dry after I set my face with powder. I'm like... I took it off with a makeup remover wipe because, like, I had already had my eyeshadow done. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to wipe it off and put a primer on. So I decided to put the Tower 28 spray underneath with the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then my skin felt better. Like, it was still a little dry, but it was feeling like the Sahara Desert. And I'm like, because I hadn't moisturized in like 8 hours... I'm like, that would have been a good idea for me to go in with primer first. So yeah, I just went into the Colvie Concealer in the shade Bad Batum. And then I just set my T-zone with the Rare Beauty spray. And I just set my under eyes with the House Labs powder. I didn't set the rest of my face. I'm like, because my face just felt too dry. And then for my bronzer, I just went into the ColourPop Alviva Beach Bronzer. And then for my blush and highlight, I just went into MAC's Melba Blush. And then for my highlighter, I just went into the Cheek Leaders Mini Bronze Squad palette. But, like, also the lipstick from Colvie, I don't know if it's, like, a beige color or pink. So, like, I don't think the shade would have worked for tonight because I think it was more of a pink shade. And for me, I like more straight-up nude shades. And then for my highlight, I went into the shade Cookie by Benefit. Which is, like, one I've been using quite a bit lately. It's just so gorgeous. And, like, every time I use it, I love it. And then I set my face with the... I'm so tired right now. I set my face with the Tower 28 spray again. And then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I originally wanted to go into the Glossier Lippy. But it was just way too warm tone. So I just went into an Ultra Blotted Lip by ColourPop. I actually don't even know what the name of this is anymore. I don't think they even have these anymore. Because the name, like, completely wore off. So I actually don't remember what this shade is called. But it's a really pretty, like, matte, like, nudish color. But I kind of want to see what the Colvie lipstick looks like. Just, like, I'm not going to put it on my lips. I just want to see, like, what the color looks like again. Yeah, I think it was more of, like, a pink nude. I'll just swatch it on my hand. But it's really pretty. I might wear it tomorrow. I don't know. I was just interested in trying it. Oh, that's a nice formula. It's very glossy. Okay. That's actually really nice. That's like a perfect Your Lips But Better color for me. Because my lips are very naturally pink. Did I just find my Your Lips But Better color and I didn't even realize it? Yeah. That's actually really close to my natural lip color. Okay, I really like this shade. Ooh, that is a great pink shade for me. Oh my god, I love that. Isn't that so pretty? And it looks so natural. Ugh, I love Kulfi's products. I love Kulfi's products. I have to try more from them. Maybe I'll go back and get a few more products from Kulfi. Why didn't I get more Kulfi products? Because I love this freaking concealer so much, and this is the only thing I've tried from them. I'm like, why don't I try more from them? I seem to love that concealer. Remember how I said I wasn't going to try it on my lips? So anyway, that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I'm still reading The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden, but I just have 50 pages left. I read quite a bit today before I went to the election party. So I'm on page 276. I got up to page 145 last night, and then I was just passing out. I was like, I was way too tired. I wanted to get halfway through, but I think I was more in a reading mood today than I was yesterday. And also, my nails match this cover absolutely perfectly. So I'm so happy I decided to read this book now. When my nails match like amazingly. But also, I am really enjoying this book. I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star, but I think it's going to be very highly rated for me. Like possibly a 4.5, a 4.75. I'm not sure, but I am loving this. The writing style is so good. It's so fast paced, but there's so much plot happening. It's just really good. I think it's better than The Good Part, and I think it's similar to This Spells Love as well. So if you loved both of those books, I think you'll really like this one. I also really wanted to get her other book at Barnes & Noble, and I couldn't find it. So now I really want to order it so I can have that one too. This is just so cute. Like, how could you not eat this cover up? Like, I've just been really enjoying it. So I'm going to finish it tonight because, again, I only have 50 pages left. So at least we'll finish a book before the election is called. So, yeah, that's it. Bye. And crossing our fingers. So, bye. We'll obviously know way after I post this video. So, yeah, I'm going to take an edible, I think, because I need to calm down. So, yeah, bye. Hey guys, I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm still not happy about what happened last night. I actually had stayed up to see what the results were going to be, but the fact that Pennsylvania was called so early shocked me. Like, it's not the fact that she lost, it's the fact that she lost so badly. She did not win any of the swing states that Biden won in 2020. None of the battleground states. He won North Carolina, and then he won Georgia. And once he won Georgia, that's when me and my friends were panicking. We're like, what do you mean Georgia was already called? And then Pennsylvania was called like 4 hours after Georgia at like 2 in the morning yesterday morning. Like, what the fuck? Like, the fact that news anchors were literally on air, literally speechless after they had already called Pennsylvania that early. Like, I thought it was going to take at least a couple days for Pennsylvania to be counted. So I thought that's why Kamala didn't speak last night, because she was waiting for the results of Pennsylvania. But then right after Fox called Pennsylvania, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, Fox always calls states early? But they turned out to be right. And then throughout the night, the Pennsylvania numbers kept on going up for him. Even though Kamala was leading until like probably 85% of the vote. And that 10% of the vote lost her the election because she lost Philadelphia. But also, why the fuck do these battleground states have so much fucking power. It's like, doesn't even matter, like, regardless of the red states that Trump is always going to win, and the blue states that, the Democrats are always going to win, like New York and California. It does not fucking matter. Our votes don't literally matter because the battleground states will determine the election every single time. And throughout all the elections that I've been in, I think this is now like, I voted for Obama twice, and then Biden, and then Kamala. Have I only been in 4 elections in the past 20 years? I guess that's accurate because I'm not 38 yet. And I don't think I was able to vote until I was 20 because I actually, once I turned 18, it wasn't an election year. So I guess I've only voted in 4 elections. Why did I feel like it was more? I thought this was at least my 5th one. But the first president I voted for was in 2008 for Obama. And then I voted for him again. Oh, and then Hillary. This is my 4th. My 5th. I totally forgot about Hillary. Hillary, and then Biden, and then obviously Kamala. But I live in New York. The fact that New York and California, the 2 most economically, financially influential countries in the entire U.S., don't have any say in who wins the election is literally flabbergasting to me because, we always know we're going to go blue, but also after she won California, we're like, okay, California was called. He was at 216 then, and she was at 194. And then I was like, okay, I think we're going to start seeing more states go blue. But it was called so early. They said that we were not even going to get results for Pennsylvania until earliest tonight, Wednesday night, or possibly Thursday. They said it was going to take days for Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, all 3 of the states that she had to carry to win the election. Because after Pennsylvania, that would have put her over 200 votes. And then she still would have had to win Wisconsin and Michigan. So I think even Trump without Pennsylvania probably would have still won him the election anyway. Because at that point, I don't think it really mattered. Because I think he was at 2 something at that point. He was at 2, let's just say she was at 194, and then Pennsylvania would have been 213. That means she would have had to win every single other battleground state in order to win the election, meaning Michigan and Wisconsin. And Michigan, I think, is 15, and then Wisconsin, I think, is 11 or something. And then she would have had to win Nevada, Arizona, and then that would have pushed her to 270. And everybody was analyzing that she had multiple paths to victory. But the fact that she could not swing one state that Biden won in 2020. People were fed up in 2020. But I guess they weren't fed up enough in 2024. So you fought for women's rights, but you forgot about everybody else's rights. I mean, yes, you did mention gay rights, which is great, and female abortion rights, and you did talk about healthcare and education, but you can't forget about the minorities. Regardless if you call him a racist, she didn't even win the minority vote. She didn't win the black vote. She didn't win the Hispanic vote. She didn't win the female vote. But 69% of white women voted for Trump. So for women to be like, we need to support other women in this country, women don't support other women. they support white men, or white women support white men being married to white men. Doesn't matter. And all the women that voted for him, they don't care about abortion rights, because they're all probably in their 50s and 60s that are going through menopause, and why would they care about your daughter's abortion rights? To them, that's killing a baby. So, I'm just saying, thank God I live in New York. One of my friends is like fear-mongering me, and I don't really like it. Because my mom said, and so did my boyfriend, that you will not be affected that much in New York as a woman. So, thank God we live in and my sister lives in California. So thank God we still live in heavily Democratic states. But the middle of the country, y'all voted for him. Congratulations. You're going to lose your Medicare. You're going to lose your abortion rights. You're going to lose a lot of things that you thought he was going to fix for you. I mean, abortion, obviously not. I mean, they don't even believe in it. So, but yeah, we just elected a convicted felon, the president of the United States. The denial of that sentence, the surrealness of it is literally insane. So, yeah, maybe I'm not that happy about makeup today. I'm not really that happy about anything. A lot of shit didn't go my way today, as usual, because I couldn't fall asleep after I saw the results. But I finished my book last night, so I just went in with the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in these shades. I just did a quick no makeup look because I didn't really have that much time. In this shade 9-5, and then I just went into the House Labs powder to set my under eyes and my eyes, and then I just set my face with the Rare Beauty powder, and then I just used the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes, and then I did decide to go bougie with my bronzer because I wanted to try the Giorgio Armani bronzer out. So I'm not even going to wear makeup tomorrow, though, because I have to pack for my trip for this weekend, which we thought we were going to be celebrating, but now we're just going to be supporting each other because honestly, it could not come at a better time, though. I am so happy I'm going away this weekend because I need to be out of this house. I just need to. I need a change of scenery. I need to be around my friends. I need to be able to talk to my friends without having my head bitten off by my brother because he thinks that he was the only one affected tonight because he, thinks he's going to lose his gay rights, which he has every reason to be upset and worried, but he forgets about the women in his household. So he doesn't give a fuck about my opinion. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder in the shade 90. This is really, really nice. I actually was going to splurge on one of the Gucci highlighters, and I'm like, why is it that I feel like bronzer is more worth it? But also, this thing is huge, and the packaging is so heavy, and you get a shit ton of product in this. You get 0.63 ounces, 18 grams of product. So, this is actually priced the way it's supposed to be. I wouldn't say the same thing about blushes and highlighters for luxury, but bronzers and powders are worth it. But I still didn't splurge. I really did want to splurge on the Gucci bronzer, but the Gucci powder, because I had the highlighter in my bag, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this, I'm not spending $60 on a highlighter. I love highlighters so much, but I cannot justify that price. I cannot. I might go back one more time before the sale is over, though. Like, maybe when I get back from my trip, like that Monday, I might just make another trip to see if there's anything else that I want, but I highly doubt it. I really couldn't find that many things that I wanted at all in the store. So I was like, let me just splurge on like a few products. I don't even know when I'm going to be able to try the Dior foundation. I probably won't even be able to try it till like next week. Can I speak? So then I went into one of my Makeup Geek blushes, and originally I just went into, I believe, Infatuation, but I wanted to make it slightly pinker because I forgot I was going into like kind of a pink lippy. So I just went into a little bit of Heartthrob over it because I just had to throw it on because honestly I had like no time. And then I just grabbed the first highlighter that was in my drawer that I could grab, and that was MAC Soft and Gentle. My makeup is just in absolute shambles right now. I really need to reorganize it, but I never organize it because 99% of the time if I'm organizing, I'm just organizing my books. So, and then I just set my face with the Tower 28 spray. Oh, I did prime my face with the Tower 28 spray and the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer again. Sorry, I forgot to say that because I was like, I wasn't going to have my face be dry as the Sahara Desert again. And then I just set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I did go into the new Kulfi lipstick that I got. I love this formula. It's so lightweight on the lips. And it's so hydrating. And I really like this color. The shade is, and I love the packaging. I just love everything about Kulfi. The shade name is not on here. So let me just check the box. Bangle box. That is so adorable. That is so cute. Okay, so that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, like I said, I did finish The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden. I thought it was so cute. It was so wholesome, and I just really liked it. I felt like it was the exact book at the right time. I gave it a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be a 5-star, but I still really, really liked it a lot. And I really do want to read her other book at some point, but I'm just glad I finished it. I wasn't sure if I was going to because I was falling asleep, but then I took an edible just to calm down. And then I was in bed till 5 a.m. trying to finish the book, but I fell asleep for like 2 hours. So now I'm like super tired because like, again, I couldn't fall asleep after those results. So yeah, it was really, really good. I really liked it. So then I decided, I'm still reading my TBR. I haven't drifted from my TBR this month yet. I felt like I wasn't going to because I had so many books in my November TBR that I was just so excited to read. But originally, I was going to read TJ Klune's Under the Whispering Door, but I heard that his books can make you cry, and I was like, that is the last thing I want to do right now, so I think I'm going to save that book for next week. I'm still going to read it next week. But I was like, I just need a reliable author that I love, so I decided to go with Catherine Center's What You Wish For, and this was on my TBR for last month, and then I put it on my TBR again for this month. So now I'm finally getting to it. I'm like, I really just want to read another Catherine Center book before the year is over as well, and it's just been bothering me that I haven't been able to go back to working on her backlist. So I'm like, let me just finally read this. So I'm on page 119, but I also saw that this is her lowest rated book on Goodreads. But I wanted to read it because it was like kind of like a interconnected book, not necessarily a sequel to Happiness for Beginners, because the main character is Duncan, which is Josh's brother in Happiness for Beginners. So it's like his love story, but so far it's a little boring. Like, it's just focusing on like one plot point, and it's not really, I wish that she kind of went into Sam's life outside of the school, because Duncan's becoming like the new principal because something tragic happens to the last principal that they had that everybody loved. But it's not going into like Sam's life outside of home, or like if she has family issues, and it did kind of start like that, but also again, it's not like about like her thoughts at the end of the day, like going home. And I don't know, I feel like that would just make it a little bit more layered, and I just feel like it's kind of a very one-dimensional story. So I do understand why this is her lowest rated book. It's a 3.77, which is still pretty high. for her lowest rated book, but I just wanted to pick like a quick 300-page book before I go away tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow. Why do I keep on thinking it's tomorrow? Actually, it's not even 309 pages. It's 306 pages. So I wanted to get exactly halfway through tonight, so I should get up to page 152, and then I should be able to just finish it tomorrow. But also it depends on how much physical reading I'm going to be able to do tomorrow because I have to pack. But that's only going to take me like 2 hours. So I'm probably not going to start packing until after my mom gets home because I want to dedicate some reading time to that before she gets home. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to go. Why am I rambling still? I'm not even going to be able to check in with you guys again until Monday. And I don't even know if I'm going to be wearing makeup Saturday because I'm going to bring makeup with me, but we'll see. But I'm not even going to check in tomorrow because I'm not even wearing makeup tomorrow. So you won't hear my review of that book until like a couple days from now, but it'll be 2 seconds for you. So I'm going to shut up now. Goodbye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for Friday and Saturday. Thursday I didn't even wear makeup because I was packing for my trip. And then I just like finished a book. So that was nice. And then Friday, I left from my friend's place to go to the Catskills for the weekend. We stayed in like Lexington, upstate. Oh my God, what a great weekend. I had such a good time with them, and we really just did not want to leave. What we probably should have done is just came up Thursday, so then we could have, well, what we should have done is maybe stayed Friday through Sunday, and then he could have just went back today. But also, we only had the room that we were staying in to ourselves on Friday night, like with 2 separate beds. But like on Saturday night, we were sharing the room with 2 other people. So, honestly, it was like the only other time we would have just had the room was like Thursday night if we would have went up then. But it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, like Friday we could have had more time with everybody. But on Friday we got there at 4:00, and I am so appreciative that Lisa made us dinner each night. I'm beyond grateful, and all the food was absolutely amazing and delicious. But we didn't eat until like 8:30 both nights. And we were like, we got here so early on Friday because I thought we were going to be able to do more stuff. And like Chris was tired from the drive. And we still like ate and played games, but like I'm not used to eating that late, but everything was still amazing. But like, you know, we just wish that we could have, you know, ate a bit earlier so we would have had more time to like do more stuff after dinner, because we just didn't get to like half the things we wanted to do. But at the same time, like we didn't really want to think about it this weekend. Honestly, this weekend was more so about just good friends, good food, and good company. It wasn't really about like the things we were doing together. It was just like to talk about, you know, the results of the election. And I was just so happy to be around friends that I could vent to and just talk to about our frustrations of everything and everything that's going to change and everything that's going to happen. I just love them for that. And it was just such a great, relaxing trip. That's like all we really wanted. So yeah, for Friday, we left at 11 so we could go to the liquor store so we could get stuff for Lisa because she wanted champagne. And then we went to the gas station so Chris could get gas and everything. Okay, I did not get my Zelle yet from Lisa, which is totally fine. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go shop the last day of the sale today. I might just order stuff online. I don't think I'm going to go to the store. I think I'm just going to order stuff. I really do not want to leave the house today because I'm just so tired from this weekend. So I just wanted today to like recharge and stuff. So, but it's like a good tired. It's like, I'm not like completely exhausted. I mean, I'm really tired, like, because of course I didn't sleep. I stayed up pretty late with everybody. So Friday, we got there at 4. We all talked for a while before dinner, and then we just had dinner, and Lisa made chicken franchise. Oh my God, it was so good. And then we just played games after dinner. First, we played this game that just took too long for everybody to go. So we kind of gave up on it. And then we just ended up playing Clue. And that was it. That's like all we ended up staying up for. Also, like, my friends are a bit older, so like, you know, their energy wanes a little bit, you know, after like 11 o'clock at night. But also, like, we were either drunk or high. So, when Lisa gets high, it's actually really funny. But anyway, do I have a crack in my screen? Yes, I think I do. In my screen protector. Great. That's fantastic. So anyway, I primed my face with the Tower 28 spray and the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then I used, I literally just used both of these Friday and Saturday because, like, and I actually used this concealer all weekend because I love this concealer so much. So I went into the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Fair 1N. And then for my concealer, I just used the Kulfi Concealer in the shade Bad Bottom as usual. And then I set my under eyes with the, I just used the Rare Beauty powder like this whole time. I don't even know like how it looked, but I didn't want to bring a loose powder with me just because it's too messy. So I just brought the Rare Beauty powder, and guys, I love this powder so much. I think I found my new favorite powder. I love the ColourPop one, but this one is like even more lightweight than that one. It just feels like nothing, but also like when you put it on, it just looks so soft and beautiful on the skin. I have absolutely been loving this. And this is in the shade Porcelain. And then for my eyeshadow, I went into the, I don't know why I'm saying it in the reverse way of doing my face makeup first, because I did my eyeshadow first, but whatever. I went into the ColourPop 1111 palette. I just brought two ColourPop palettes with me. So I went into, but I did this on Friday morning before I went to my friend's house so we could leave, because we left from his place so I could leave my car there because he drove. So I went into Lucky Babe in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Empowered, and I just used it on the defining area and the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went into Major Change, and then I just used, I don't think I even used a brow bone highlight because I was just like too busy getting ready. And then for my inner corners, I just went into Total Angel. I just wanted to keep my makeup super quick and easy for this weekend. But again, this was like before I left. And then I just went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Brown. And then I went into the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then for my face, I just used the ColourPop bronzer like literally all 3 days this weekend. For Friday, for Saturday, and for Sunday. So I just went into the, if I could open this. Oh my fucking God. Alright, I just went into Alviva Beach. I'm not even going to attempt to open it right now because there's no point. You guys know what it looks like. Oh my God. And then for my blush, I just went into the Makeup by Mario cream blush in the shade. I just brought 2 blushes with me. I threw this in my bag, and also I threw in a Rare Beauty blush, and that's the only 2 blushes I brought with me because I knew, again, I was only going to be there 2 days. So I went into the shade Barely Blushing by Makeup by Mario. I absolutely love these cream blushes. They're like my favorites. And then I set my face with the Tower 28 spray again. And then I set my brows with the the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into my, where is it? It's literally right here. I went into the Summer Fridays Tinted Lip Butter Balm. The, really popular color. I never know what the hell the name is because they don't have it on the tube, and that actually annoys me, but whatever. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, I did finish What You Wish For by Catherine Center on Thursday night. I didn't finish any other book until last night when I got back home. But I did do a little bit of reading when I was there, so I did finish that book, though, before we left on Friday. And honestly, it was okay. It wasn't really my favorite book from her, but I'm just glad that I was finally able to read another one of her books. Like I said, I just needed a comfort author. After the election results, I'm like, let me just read an author that I really do love and adore, and then I can at least check off another book off of her, off my list from Catherine Center. But even though this wasn't my favorite book from her, I really like how the book flowed still. There wasn't really any lulls. There were some parts where I was a little bored because I just wish she went into like the main character's like home life a little bit more. And then I feel like it would have made the character a little bit more layered and interesting. But basically this is kind of like an interconnected book to Happiness for Beginners. It's kind of like a sequel, but not really because it's not about Helen and Jake, but I did love the parts where Helen and Jake made an appearance in What You Wish For. That was really awesome. I liked the way that she wrote this sequel, indirect sequel, much more than Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This one was definitely way better than that one. But I still didn't feel like absolutely enthralled in this, but again, this was very readable and it didn't feel like it dragged on like Nothing Like the Movies. So for that, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Like, just like right in the middle, nothing really too memorable, but I still had a good time with it. So also I appreciate how short Catherine Center's books are. They're never over like 300 and something pages. They're usually like 305 or something. But I definitely enjoyed Happiness for Beginners quite a bit more than this book. That one I gave a 4.25, so I definitely liked that book a lot more than this one. But it was still like a good time. There was just some parts that like I didn't really love what the main character said, because this was basically Duncan's story, which is Jake's best friend, and also he is Helen's brother. So that's how it's related to Happiness for Beginners. And when I heard that, because Haley Pham read this book, I think like a month ago or something, she's like, it's kind of a indirect sequel to Happiness for Beginners. I was like, I have to pick it up and read this because I still really enjoyed it. So now I've read 3 Catherine Center books so far. And I'm so happy again that I added to, working on her backlist, because I did say she's an author that I want to read all of her books from. So I think the last book I'm going to try and read from her in December is How to Walk Away. I still really want to get to that book because I think I'm going to really like that book, and it's probably going to be like my second favorite from her. So yeah, that was it for that. And now I'll tell you guys about my makeup look for Saturday. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys about my look for Saturday. I just wanted to separate the clips so the clip isn't too long. So this was when I was at in the Catskills, and basically so we woke up around like 11ish. I slept in a little bit. I didn't really sleep though, but I just laid in bed and read some more. We were gonna have brunch in the morning, so she made eggs and bacon and croissants, and everything was so delicious, and we had mimosas, like so freaking good. And then like after breakfast, I was hoping we were gonna play a game or two, but everyone was like so tired from like the night before. We all just like kind of separated and did our own thing for a little while, and we were all just like relaxing. So I just went downstairs and started doing my makeup because like Karen went into her room and so did Lisa. I think they both were napping. And our other 2 friends were just doing a puzzle in the living room. And then Chris came back from his hike with Karen because they went hiking in the morning. I was like, I'm not fucking going hiking. Like, you hell fucking no. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here and read for a while. So, and then after brunch, like I said, we had like 3 hours to ourselves because like everyone was just like wanting to relax for a little while. And then we came back together around 4 o'clock. And then we just were talking until dinner was ready. And again, dinner wasn't ready until like 8:30, but it was so freaking delicious. But I just feel like when you like wait until later on, it's like you don't really have as much time to like, I don't know. I just felt like it went by so quickly on Saturday, even though we spent a full day there then. It was just like not that long. But we spent like basically 2 days there because we got there from, we actually spent exactly 2 days there because we got there at 4 o'clock on Friday. And yesterday we left at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So basically a full 48 hours that we were there. So then after Lisa cooked, slow cooked beef, like shredded beef for tacos. That beef was one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. That beef was so freaking delicious. Chef's kiss. Oh my God, she's such a good cook. And we had peppers, we had spinach and lettuce and everything. And so good. It was so good. And sour cream. And everybody was wondering why I didn't bring guacamole. She's like, Kaylin, you always bring guacamole to the barbecues. How come you didn't bring it? And I was like, I just like totally spaced on like what we needed for because like usually at the barbecues like no one ever fucking eats it, but also like I just totally spaced on what we needed at the supermarket because we made a supermarket run, me and Chris, before we left. So we could just like have some snacks that we wanted to have for the house. So yeah, and we bought lunch meat too, but we didn't even eat that because that was just for like Saturday afternoon if we decided to have lunch. But I just ended up having a snack in the middle of the day because for me, since we had such a big brunch and then we have such a big dinner and we eat brunch at like 12:30 and then we don't eat dinner again until like 8, I get a little bloated if I eat that late. So I'm like, I'm just going to eat a snack. I'm like, I'm not even going to have lunch. And then we just played like Uno Flip after dinner. And then we played like this other game that wasn't really a game. It was just kind of like a conversation starter. And that was actually really cute. And that was it. And then everybody, like, we stayed up and talked more. And then me and Karen stayed up till 2 a.m. just talking about the election and everything. And that was like the one thing I was really looking forward to. Because like me and Karen like never got to talk like that. Like we don't really talk on the phone. We're more like audio messaging people. But also like we're always like distracted when we're talking like in person. Like we're either at happy hour or like we're at the barbecues with her. Like we don't get that much alone time to just talk and vent about shit. So it's like, let's stay up and talk for a little bit. I think we were up for almost like another hour and it was just like so great to talk to her. Yeah, that's what we did on Saturday. So for my makeup, I went in with my ColourPop Party Proof Primer and then I did the same thing like when I told you guys about my last makeup look. Like, you know, that those are like the only products that I use anyway. And then I just went into the Summer Fridays Lippy again. Because I didn't bring the Clarins lip oil because I was worrying about it, like, leaking a little bit. Because, like, lip oil is never, like, a secure packaging. It's so annoying. And then I just set my eyes with the Rare Beauty powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I just used my Golden Hour palette. And then for the shades that I used, I just went into Dreamin' in the crease. And then I just went into LA Sunset on the lid. And then for the brow bone, I went into All That. Because this one's a little dark, but it's still a good color for my brow bone. And then for the inner corners, I just used Glimmer. And that was it. Like I said, I did not want to spend that much time on my eyeshadow. And then I just went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Brown. And then I just went into the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. Oh, and then after I did my makeup after breakfast and everybody was like just relaxing, then I just read for like an hour because I'm like, nobody's doing anything. And Chris was like, I'm a little bored, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of just want to read for a while if nobody's like up there. And it was great. It was just really nice and relaxing. I was like, I do want to get some reading done, you know, while I'm here. And then I just went into I primed my face with the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. And then I just went into I also went into Tower 28 Spray, obviously. I'm just so tired. And then for my tinted moisturizer, again, I just went into the ColourPop one because, again, that's the only one I brought with me. And then the same concealer because that's the only one I brought with me. I actually brought the Maybelline one as well, but I didn't even use it. I just wanted to use the Kulfi one because it's still my favorite. And then I just set my under eyes and my face with the Rare Beauty powder again. And then I just went into the ColourPop Elviva Beach Bronzer. And then I just went into the other blush that I brought, which is the Rare Beauty one in the shade Joy. And this was perfect. I love this blush. I did not say what I used for a highlighter on Friday. I'm like totally spacing because I'm just so tired. For my highlight, for the previous clip that I did, I didn't even grab the right highlighter. Oh my god, like what is wrong with me today? Oh my gosh. So for my highlighter, for the previous look that I just told you guys, I went into the Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Enlighten. I only brought the Rare Beauty highlighters with me because they're so beautiful and I never have to worry about them showing up. They're always the best highlighters to use. And then for my look for this clip, I just went into the Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Exhilarate, and they're just like so gorgeous. I love them so much. And then I set my face with the Tower 28 spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel again. And then for my lips, of course, I brought the Glossier Hydrating Lippy. And this one's in the shade Trench, and that's the one that I used for Saturday. And that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, excuse me, I did start this book on Thursday night, and I did like a tiny bit of reading Friday morning because obviously I couldn't sleep. So I started the Storied Life of A.J. Fickery on Friday, and then I was reading quite a bit of this on Saturday as well, and I got up to page 130 because on Friday night I read like 50 pages, and then Saturday I read like 60. Like I was actually reading 2 books at the same time, so now I'm on page 130 of this. I haven't read any more of it. Oh, actually on page 134. Why did I think I was on page 130? Okay, that's good. I only have like 115 pages left of this then, like, cause it's 255 and I'm on page 134. So maybe like a little bit, 120 pages or something like that. I cannot do math right now, but so far I am enjoying this. I just still haven't found like a 5-star read yet. I'm kind of getting a little annoyed that I haven't. But it's good so far. And then the other book that I had started was, who called me? Oh my god, they literally like annoy the shit out of me, honestly, the fucking Toyota service. Where is it? Obviously I brought my Kindle with me, so I was reading a book on Kindle, and I had started 6 Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent, because I really did want to read this book before the, 3rd book comes out in the Crown of Nexia series, so, I started this Thursday night as well, because again, I was just reading both of these kind of at the same time and just switching off with them, and then Friday, I think I read up to page 75 in the car, because obviously I read my Kindle in the car. I don't like reading physical books in the car. They just make me too dizzy. But reading the Kindle It's so perfect in the car because like you really don't feel dizzy. And I read like 50 pages. So I went from page 24 to 75. And then when I was on the trip, I think I only read like another 50 pages of this, but that's still 50 pages. So I'm not complaining about that. So that was everything for Saturday. Now I'll tell you about my makeup look for Sunday.